Hey guys, how's it going? It's Vinny Flips. Today we're going to be talking about card grading strategies. I'm going to give you my recommendation on the best approach to grade your trading cards, specifically Pokemon in 2021. Some of you know PSA has raised their prices. Because of the COVID pandemic, a lot of stuff has been impacted. Timelines have been pushed back. Durations of your grading services are lasting longer than the normal times of 5 to 6 months. They were at 8 months, just a couple months ago. Now I think they're pushing up to 10, and that's just PSA specifically. I think if you're here today watching this video, that you're probably wondering what grading service to go with, the overall duration and timeline of the current grading services, how much money you need to invest in order to see some return, and then overall, what is your approach to all of this? Are you sending all of your cards to a certain grading service, or are you dividing them up? Today, all of this stuff is just recommendations, so just take it with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to push you in the wrong direction. I think with every type of investment out there, whether it's stocks, real estate, whatever you're doing, you should always do your research, and you should always make an educated opinion based off of all of your analysis. First off, I just want to start with, what is your approach to all this? Are you sending in cards that are $100 to $200? Are you sending in cards over $1,000? I look at it in that sense of value because I look at each card as a short-term and long-term goal. I think that if you're going to be sending in a card that could only max out a PSA 10 or BGS 10 at $150 to $200, I think that you have options here today. I don't think that you maybe need to send those cards into those grading services, but I'll get back to that. If you're sending in cards that are over $1,000 and your gut instinct is that it is a gem 10, it is a 9.5, it is a 9, then you know what, go ahead and send those into whatever grading services you feel fit. Recommendations are BGS or PSA. Now, the reason I'm bringing up BGS over PSA is because currently the duration of the grading services are impacted. PSA is backlogged maybe 10 months, potentially even longer. So if this is something that you're getting into to make money, there is a potential that if you send those cards in, the market could peak while your cards are being graded. You don't want to lose the opportunity to maybe make some money from those cards, but if you're in it for the long haul and you know that you're going to collect these for maybe 5-10 years, then I think that sending it into those grading services is a good investment. Should you send them in to PSA? Should you send them into BGS? Should you send them in to CGC? Well, I think that again, it goes back to your goal. Is it a short-term or long-term investment? Or are you just a genuine collector? Based off of my research, I feel that CGC is offering a really good service at a really good cost. $8 to $10 a card if you send in 50. If I'm going to be sending in a card that's currently valued at $5 to $10, and if I get it graded for $8 and it could potentially bump up to $100, I feel that you can go ahead and, almost 10x your money just by sending it into CGC. People are skeptical of CGC because it gives a harsh grade. If you get a 7 at CGC, maybe it could have been a PSA 9. If you're in this position to send in cards for less than $10 and you might get a harsher grade on them and it still bumps your card up, $50, $80, $100, I think that it is worth it to send it to them because in my perspective, this is a flip. This is something you're trying to authenticate and prove to someone else on the market that it is true. This is a real card. If you sell it to someone and they're a collector and they're like, you know what, this got a good grade at an 8.5, I'm going to send it in to PSA, it could potentially be a 9. That's great. Give someone an opportunity to go ahead, crack that thing open, and literally you already made your money, you're out, you're reinvesting that money into some other cards. Overall, after a certain grade, I feel that all of these grading services equate to each other. I think that if each card is about a 9 or below, you're going to get almost the same value for it. It's just looking at the money and time that you're going to invest into that card just to prove to someone that it's authentic and that it is of value. Again, don't be scared to create a two-tiered approach. If you got cards that are all valued between $100 to $500 between a PSA 9 and 10, you can go ahead and make more money by sending those to CGC and getting them graded at a cheaper cost, investing less time and investing less money right off the bat. Real quick, I want to use this card as an example. It's a first edition card, so without a slab, it's probably only worth, $10 to $20. Based off my naked eye, I give it a solid 8. I give it a solid 9. I mean, the centering looks nice, everything looks good. At that point, it's really just up to the grading service what they give it, how many of those cards are in the system already, all these things that you got to take into consideration. But say you have one of these cards and it's a first edition holographic card from Pokemon. This card at a PSA 10 could be worth up to $14,000 or something crazy like that. Then maybe it is worth the long haul to wait. I'm not putting down any grading service. I think they're all great. I think everyone has its own uniqueness behind it. You don't need to commit to just one. You can pick 2, you can pick 3, you know, divide it up into 2 tiers, 3 tiers. What is your best pristine cards? Maybe that's something you just pulled straight out of a pack. Maybe you would send that to BGS. My recommendation is just to audit all your cards, put them in different stacks, you know, make sure they're all protected, and just go ahead and take a look at what you might spend overall if you send 50 here, you know, 5 here, a few here, and add up all that money, and you're gonna see that 5 cards in the PSA or BGS is just as much as sending in 50 cards to CGC. But this channel, we're all about, you know, the hustle, flipping cards, trying to make that money off of these cards. I already have my cards that are long haul cards, but I do have a lot of cards that are flippable based off of everything that I've analyzed, and it's been quite interesting, this journey that I'm on, trying to figure out, you know, all these different cards and all these different strategies and approaches, and the cost for everything, the investment into the card, the investment into the grading service, the protectors, storing the cards properly, making sure that they're not going to get ruined. I hope this video helped you out today, guys. I hope this gave you some insight on what you should be doing for your current grading strategies in 2021, and these are just based off my recommendations of stuff that has changed in the industry. I'm happy to hear anyone's comments or opinions on this, so you know, feel free to reach out. Remember to hit that like button. Please subscribe. This is Vinny Flips with Notorious Rips. Stay ripped.